No matter where you come from, no matter where you've been, come on in. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. No matter where you come from, no matter where you've been, come on in. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. Come as you are, don't change a thing. Just bring yourself and come on in.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to everybody here and everybody online. Please silence your cell phones if you haven't already. My name is Adam McDonald. I'm one of the board members. And today we have Reverend Shara. She's with us to focus on Principle 5 from the Love Principles. Be the change you want to see happen.
Yes.
We also have our musical guest here, Patricia Bahia. Welcome back, Patricia. The board is planning the next community meeting on November 2nd at 1 p.m. after the Sunday service. This is an opportunity to learn more about our community and to ask questions, so please plan to join us. The Sunday supper team, led by Susan Gilmore, is collecting pudding cups and toilet paper to distribute to the people in need in Tustin. Due to decreased supplies, the local food banks, they're having to rely on donations more than ever. You can bring your donations on Sunday or during the week to the administration office. Last week, Mary Jean introduced Commitment to our Spiritual Practice program, concurrent with our focus on the book, The Love Principles. As a board member, I want to highlight our meditation gardens and the sacred space we provide for the wider community. Our community wanted to establish a physical space that provided a place to reflect, to enter a sacred space, to experience another perception of reality, and to represent the stages of spiritual awakening. Our meditation gardens, 8 separate sites covering an acre on our campus, were completed in 2010, but they're still evolving. Site 1 and Site 5 are both in process, and all the sites need our loving care. We also offer our space for rentals to like-minded nonprofit groups like AA. We intend to develop a thriving celebration of life ministry as we believe we can fill a need for those who want a non-traditional service. These offerings are part of all we've come to cherish and honor with our time, treasure, and talent. Now let's stand for the peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
Good morning. I'm Jack Ragland. I'm a prayer chaplain at Unity of Tustin, and this morning it is my honor and privilege to open this service by performing the Christ candle lighting ritual and then reading the daily word. We light the Christ candle as a symbol of that Christ light which is within each and every one of us, shining through us as us, illuminating the world, giving peace and prosperity to everyone we greet. The word for today is forgiveness. The gospel is from the book of Luke, chapter 6, verse 37. Do not judge, and you will not be judged. Do not condemn, and you will not be condemned. Forgive, and you will be forgiven. Occasionally, I may decide that a transgression or mistake is simply unforgivable. However, when I maintain a spiritual perspective, I realize forgiveness is a key to moving forward from painful interactions and is an important part of my spiritual path. Releasing unforgiveness may be one of the hardest things I will do, but I trust there will be peace in my heart and clarity in my mind when I do it. I trust there is no judgment or condemnation in spirit. Whatever the error, the divine presence within can help me transcend it. There is no pain, no hurt that is greater or more enduring than God. This is the comfort and promise that helps me forgive and know lasting peace. I will repeat the affirmation 2 times. The second time, I will invite each and every one here to join me in this glorious affirmation. Forgiveness is my path to peace. Forgiveness is my path to peace.
Good morning, Unity of Tustin. Good morning, online. Did I not experience this sense of collective knowing when Jack said the word of the day was forgiveness? You know, there was, even me, like there was this involuntary, that was fascinating. Then there was a pregnant pause and we even laughed. Because I guess we realized we're not doing it enough. But let's just take a moment and breathe that in. There was this recognition, this real recognition that this is a key, this forgiveness, this loving with an open hand, of giving the benefit of the doubt to each other and ourselves, that we are coming from a place of goodness. Whether we show up the same or different than what we'd prefer, you know, can we extend that goodwill to everyone? Let's just breathe that together. It feels good. Just forgive yourself and forgive anything you're holding on to, and just allow that to shake up a little bit, because we are here to shine. Yes. I am wearing some remnants from my gown last night for Carol's milestone birthday party, where she invited us all to dress up and to shine as who we are in the world, because that's what she did. It was an amazing experience where we got to see a good example of Carol's life work as a musician, singer, songwriter. And what was so delightful was not only the quality of the talent that blesses our community, thank you, Patricia, week after week, but also the range of Carol. So I know, Carol, you're not here. You're taking a well-deserved morning off, but this is all in your honor. And Carol, like, she can do reggae, salsa, songs. There was a song, He Kissed Me, that Marlena Barber sang, that could be a Disney classic for millennia. It was that good. A grief and soulfulness, her beautiful tribute to her father. Zelda and I are sitting crying at both of the songs. Everything from the sublime to pee-pee pads. And consternation, love for the dogs that destroy them. And don't pee on them. And our choir, how did you learn all of those songs in addition to your choir practice? It was just extraordinary. So we are so blessed to have Carol for 31 years as part of this community, 31 years of excellence. We love you, Carol. I hope you're sleeping in right now. And it's a good introduction to our topic, which is on being the change that we want to see in the world. And we can be the change when we show up as our full self, when we let ourselves shine, when we bring forward our inner bling. And that's a lot easier when we can forgive ourselves when we misstep. And then we can continue to move forward without fear, knowing that we are the light of the world, and we are here to express that. So I want to start with a lovely poem as we go into our opening prayer. And this is a poem by Kai Siedenberg, and it's called, What Are You Waiting For? So depending, I can make that a bit of a, what are you waiting for? Or what are you waiting for? So let's take a deep breath. What powerful seeds lie dormant deep within you, longing to break through the surface and reach their slender stems towards the light? What tender buds are swelling inside you, yearning to unfurl their radiant petals and reveal their hidden beauty? What songs and stories are swirling deep within your breast? What wild and magical dreams are stirring in your soul? What are you waiting for, dear one? The world is hungry for your beauty, calling you to bring forth your deepest gifts. So I invite you to bring that in and feel into the divine birthright of being who you have come here to be. In all of eternity, before and after, there is only one you. This one individual snowflake of you, this one unique manifestation of the expression of God on earth. And allow as prayer your intention to be, to experience your you-ness in this world, and knowing that by doing so, you are being the change you want to see. Knowing that from that, your presence is a prayer. Your presence is upliftment. Your life is a blessing. This is what it means to pray without ceasing. To show up moment by moment in your imperfect and beyond beautiful imperfection. That the messiness is part of the perfection, and we have nothing to fear. So say yes, and be the blessing, be the change you want to see in the world. And we are going to live that by doing that for a moment with each other. Patricia began with that beautiful song that you are welcome here. You are welcome here. Right on time. And in one of our classes today, one of our classes this week, we were talking about how welcoming our newcomers really is a community function, and that we're actually quite good at this, at making sure we talk to newer people, engage them at hospitality, try to connect people to spirit groups and other places where they can start feeling more connected. But yet, many of us may come to Sunday service, sit in the same spot every single week, and maybe not even know the name of the person behind you. So today we're going to start with a bit of a divine switcheroo. So as long as you are able and comfortable, we ask you to stand up. We ask you to turn to a neighbor or two, say your name, even if you think they know it, because they might not. And welcome each other, and if you dare, change seats. Switch around your seats if you'd like. Doesn't that mean you all have to kiss now or something? That's next week. Thank you, everyone. And let us continue our beautiful service with our first song from Patricia Bahia.
And it is entitled, Be the Change. And I understand we have some choir members here, so when we get to the chorus, I'm going to ask you to sing. I'm going to sing Be the Change, and then you sing it back. Okay. So, easy peasy. If you want more hope in the world, be hopeful. If you want more friendship in the world, be a friend. If you want more blessings in the world, be a blessing, oh yeah. Be the change, be the change, be the change. Be the change, be the change, be the change, be the change. Together we can make the world a better place. Be the change, be the change. You and me, we can be the change. I had to switch it up though, because it's be the change. If you want more love in the world, be a lover. If you want more peace in the world, make peace. If you want forgiveness in the world, be forgiving, oh yeah. Be the change, be the change, be the change. Be the change, be the change. And I just lost the music, it just left the screen, so we have to stop for just a minute. We're gonna change, okay, here we go. Here we go. Be the change, be the change. Together we can make the world a better place. Be the change, be the change. You and me, we can be the change. If little drops of water in the ocean can make a mighty wave, a pebble rolling down a hill can make an avalanche out of yesterday. The flutter of a butterfly wing can start a hurricane. Then you and me, together we will be the change we wish to see. Be the change, be the change. Together we can make the world a better better place. Be the change. Be the change. You and me, we can be the change. Be the change. Be the change. Together we will make the world a better place. Be the change. Be the change. Together we will make the world a better place. You and me, together we will be. We'll be the change. The change. The change. Be the change.
Patricia. Wow. Right on theme. So yes, the theme for today is be the change you want to see happen instead of trying to change everyone else. So this is where I think God got it wrong. You know, we have original sin where, we ate of the apple and the tree of good and evil. I think God's original sin was putting us in charge of our own lives. Because, I've done my work, so I can hold the mirror up and I can see my blind spots and I can see where I need to grow and improve. But I've got my frickin' PhD in how you need to grow and improve. So, if we could just tell each other how to live, we'd have a perfect world of harmony. It just seems so very easy. But that's not the way the cookie crumbles. So Arlene talks about, if we do try to get someone else to change and they actually do it, often the change doesn't stick. And, there's some subtlety here. It is important to let people know what their impact is on us. And they can change if they want to, or maybe they don't. But then we have to change how we're going to be in relationship to that behavior. What do we need to do either physically or logistically or relationally or in terms of our way of being in perspective to it to change that behavior? Because we really cannot change each other or change other people. So we're kind of put in this place where we have to do the inner work and we have to really keep looking inside. And it can be frustrating because sometimes the problems that we are seeing, they seem too big. I want to make these changes out there. I want to change you. I want to change them. Don't we all want to change them? If only they got it right. As if one of our spiritual principles, I am that. So who is they if I am that? And we are part of the systems we find ourselves in. That's actually one of the definitions of hope. One of the definitions of hope is because we are not separate from our collective, we actually have the power to change, and that change will have some influence on the collective. And we'll talk a little bit more later on about that nuances. But the work is within. And it can even be a driver of our own evolution, where we can use everything for our upliftment. So this one person in my life who just knows how to rattle my reactivity is such a blessing. Because he shows me how delightful it would be if he was more patient and accepting. And that gives me the opportunity to be more patient and accepting. And now I've actually found a usefulness for that which I judge. It can remind me, the difficulties in life can remind us to get back to center. Get back to center. Thank you for being so blessedly annoying. Because you are showing me where I have the power to show up the way I want you to show up. I want you to show up in a way that's more love-affirming and life-affirming. So I am going to subtly and not so subtly try to tell you where you're wrong, which is not life-affirming or love-affirming. So these are the types of things that we are working to extricate ourselves from so we can come forward from the true vine, from source, and be our birthright in the world. So there's an evolutionary aspect to it. Necessity is the mother of invention, and when we see things that aren't working, we can not only embody it, but we can try to manifest it. Now, I'm actually curious, who here is watching and consuming less news than you did, let's say, 6 months or a year ago? Okay? And who is watching more? Okay? And who's about the same? Okay. So if I had to do I would say about half of you, or maybe even 60% are watching less. And then about 40% are the same or more. That was kind of my sense of the hands. So those of you who are watching less news, what are you doing with all that free time? Having fun.
Yes. Dancing more.
Dancing more. Watching, I don't have a TV. I don't watch TV, but I was finally convinced to watch Ted Lasso. So now I unwind with a little Ted Lasso, and I probably would have been on news during that time. And I used to be a therapist, so there's a great therapist on there. And I'm doing a training for people who work with victims of crime. And I'm taking a wonderful clip when Ted Lasso doesn't trust her because she's being paid to listen to him. And I'm using it in this training. And, she says something like, "Ted, would you coach for free?" And he says, "Yes, I would." And she says, "Do you?" "No, ma'am." And then she says, "Do you care about your people?" He says, "Yes, ma'am." And she says, "Well, why wouldn't I care about you?" And she's just, so yes, we can do these other things that can open us up. And maybe, just maybe, we might, in our connectedness with our spiritual work, feel the oneness of the world more and be inspired to act. Because this is something I kind of want to explore with you today. And that is, what maybe are the limits of being the change that we want to see happen in the world rather than asking other people to do it. Because how many people here have heard the teaching that when enough people wake up, everyone will wake up? How many?
Critical mass.
Like critical mass, the 100th monkey, right? 100th monkey washes the potato, and now all the people, monkeys on the planet, wash the potato. Is that what you see happening in the world? I mean, I don't know. This is truly an inquiry. But it may not be enough. What we tend to be learning from research is that consciousness, our inner conscious work, is essential. It's essential. However, when we're all atomized, when we're all doing our individual thing, we might not get that critical mass because the critical mass might need connectivity. It might need a coherence. It might need a network connecting to other networks in order to get the whole system to up level. That's the Ilyip Shigorjin's work with systems of chaos. When a system finds itself in chaos, over time, little islands of coherence spontaneously form. This is a very hopeful discovery because it speaks to what could happen in consciousness. And it's when those islands of coherence find each other, when they're in relationship. So instead of talking about I to I, we're talking we to we. You know, we've been doing a lot of work of moving from me to we, and now our evolutionary work is to connect from we to we. You know, where two or more are gathered, there I am, the Christ, the living love. I'm feeling into, and research is supporting, that relational alchemy is on an individual level and on a collective level. And when we connect we to we, now whole systems up level. Now new things arise. Now a new story gets created. And it means moving outside of our individuality. We still have to do this work. There's no bypassing it, because we need to do it to connect to that true vine, so that is where we are coming from. But more and more, I believe spiritual communities will be on the leading edge of creating networks. And this is what's very exciting about our unity movement. For those of you who don't know, we have a branch called Unity Worldwide Ministries that works with all of the 600 Unity churches across the nation. Then there's Unity World Headquarters that takes care of our mothership in Kansas City, Missouri, Lee Summit, and does our publications, our daily words. And they have been split for 60 years. A little surprising for a denomination called Unity. Yeah. And then, you know, UWH has great expertise in publication and distribution. They just bought Spirituality and Practice magazine. And UWM has great expertise in brick and mortar churches, evolving churches, and how to be community, how to be the beloved community. Don't you think there might be a lot more synergistically possible if we started working as one? Now, if we didn't work as one, our individual spiritual evolution would matter. But it's going to matter more if we're doing that work and we combine. And this is part of all of the networking we're doing here at Unity of Tustin, even the spirit groups. It's getting us together as small networks so we can form real bonds. You have all supported me on being on the board of UWM, so I get to be a voice in having this unification become a reality by trying to talk to people, address their concerns, and show them what I truly believe the benefits can be for our movement. The work that we're doing right now, collaborating with the Center for Action and Contemplation and bringing their program here as a prototype that can be used for other unity communities and spiritual communities. So, because, you know, I can't create a quality year-long spiritual development program on my own. But when we connect, now we're starting to get capacity to do really deep work that is new and emerging. We collaborated with Integral Christian Network to bring their We Space program here as a prototype. We trained 6 other churches to do so. And now Unity Worldwide Ministries is trying to make it into a certificate program for all of our communities. This is what these networks, Firelight, the platform that Adam has developed. Adam has developed literally the infrastructure for national connection. Now, once we can find a way to use that, and that's what he's been working on, now all of a sudden we have the platform to do the content and the consciousness that we study here. So we need all the parts, and we need a lot of the parts in the world. And this is important because the whole reason we're doing the book, The Love Principles, is because Craig did a talk on Gandhi. And in his talk on Gandhi, Gandhi is famous for saying, be the change you want to see in the world. So Craig started doing research on where and when Gandhi said that. And he found out to his surprise, Gandhi never said that. The person who said that was this little New Yorker called Arlene Lawrence, who we're studying right now, who started living it. She was working in a high school that was out of control. And she wanted them to become more loving, and they weren't doing it. So she decided to be the love she wanted to see. But if you read the book, what's so fascinating is she says, me, a handful of students, and 2 other teachers. It wasn't Arlene. You have to start with the network. You have to start with the core group. And then they were able to get some traction within the school that transformed its culture. And then from those early wins, things started to grow. We start where we start. We start where we start. She says something on this. I liked it. I talked my last talk, talking about our unity principle of divine order. We do the next indicated thing. Life is intelligent. It will show you your starting point. You do the next indicated thing. You pause. You reflect. You go to the still small voice. You see what manifests as a result of your interference with the collective mind. And then you do the next indicated thing. And this is our 5th principle of putting feet on our teachings. It's not enough to know that. So this is what she says about that. I'll read a few things. As we impact the universe, so too are we impacted. Therefore, a good way to proceed in every aspect of life is to take a small step forward and, before taking another, observe what the small step has brought into being. Then every step will be one of cooperation. So, isn't that always a question? Is it my will or thy will? Well, this is a key. This is a key. Take another, observe what that's brought into being, and then every step will be one of cooperation. It is always better to begin with what is in front of us. Now, that's also information from us and can bring some humility when your inner voice, if it's anything like my inner voice, thinks, why doesn't he or she do that? Well, maybe the reason that person doesn't do that, it's not right in front of them in their life. They have to listen to their own divine order, and we have to listen to ours. So it's always better to begin with what's right in front of us. You can think of life as intelligent and our presence as intelligent, and when they meet, we have alchemy and evolution. Stay present to your life as it arises. Attune and say yes. Move, and you will be evolving towards wholeness and love. It's always better to begin with what is right in front of us, proceeding one step at a time, observing and cooperating as we advance with open heart centers and a conscious love flow. It is in this course of action that our power resides. Oh, take a deep breath. Breathe that in. I really like this book because she also brings hopefulness in for me because she makes it manageable. It's like, I can do that. I don't know if I can fix the world, but I can do that. And that's actually part of our beautiful interdependence. is alone we are insufficient. That's what me and Janelle Rapp came up with. We discovered this in the course of doing a live podcast, and then we dared to take a pause. And in the pause, something became clear. What became clear in her family's tragedy of her sister disappearing and never being found, the grief was enormous. And it was so enormous, no one person could heal it. But each of the members of the family focused on a particular pain of her loss. And each person in the family did their grief work. And even though each person's grief work was insufficient, together they were able to find resilience in a healthy way forward over time. And that's what we are learning too, even in our divine guidance, connected to the true vine. Alone, we are insufficient, but we are not powerless. Our insufficiency is a beautiful cosmic design because it requires us to need each other, to find each other, to collaborate with each other, to listen to each other, to attune, to be part of the human family, to transcend our own egos, to look at our collectives as living organisms in their collectivity, not in their individuality. And the more we start identifying consciously as a we can connect to other we's more organically. And that's how the deepest change happens. You know, I've said this many times. One of my favorite sayings is, culture eats ideology for lunch. You know, many of our unity churches are closing. And they are very well run. We have some excellent ministers in this movement. It's not if only they were better, or if only they taught more unity basics, or if only they taught less unity basics. Or it's that something's happening in the collective. And everything has a life cycle, including this planet, including ourselves, including our communities. So the organizational pattern is to go into decline unless we add new life. And that's why innovation, experimentation, trying new things is so important. So we can keep revitalizing our bodies. But we have to be open to the new. We have to be open to each other. We have to be open to creating these complex fields through which it's more likely that new arisings are going to happen. And then we participate. We show up and we say yes. In our messiness, in our beginnerness, because you're not going to be in your strong suit when you're doing the next indicated thing you've never done before. So that's why we need the forgiveness, right? Yes. Yeah. Because otherwise, we're just going to want to stay in our strong suit because we want to look good. But our growth is always in those messy areas. Growth is always where we're most likely to fumble. So get good at eating humble pie. Learn to like it. It is the most soulfully nutritious food. And you know, when it happens with grace, like, wasn't that wonderful? You're trying to tell me, Patricia, that wasn't part of the song? The iPad? I mean, you know, but when we can relax, then we can fumble with grace. Jack, you fumbled with grace a little bit. It was like, the affirmation. And then you just came right into your presence. And it makes us more human. It makes us more vulnerable. It makes stepping out of our comfort zone more accessible. You know, that teaching that always stays with me. Someone told me the only way you can most mess up as a mom is to be a perfect mom, because that's not attainable. But all of our beautiful imperfection is. All of our beautiful imperfection is. So this started all with Gandhi. This started all, finding out that it was really this woman from New York who said it. And let's look at Gandhi as our role model. You know, Gandhi. So Gandhi famously didn't say, "Be the change you wish to see in the world." And we often interpret this as a call for interior transformation. And it was. It was. Gandhi was a master spiritual practitioner. But he didn't just meditate and hope that the British Empire would dissolve. He took action. And he started where he was. Now, where he was, he learned how to use a spinning wheel. So one of the ways that the Indians were colonized is that they were forced to buy textiles from Britain. And they were overpriced and overtaxed. So he learned how to use the spinning wheel and make his own fabric. And then he started his activism by teaching Indians how to do the same. So then they could make their own cloth and they wouldn't be dependent on the exports or on the forced imports. He helped organize a 260-mile march to the salt mines so Indians would not be forced to buy salt processed by the British with exorbitant tax rates. So it started small, and then it became enormous, and talking about scales of economy and government and leadership and those types of constructs that ultimately may shape individual consciousness. In particular, culture eats ideology for lunch. But when we get together with intentionality, we can start to change culture. And we have to, because the world evolves. This community has demonstrated the resilience of culture change. This community was very different 30 years ago, and it was perfect for that time. Perfect. Marge Britt was an expert at figuring out what was going on in the collective and bringing to Unity of Tustin. What was going on in the collective were teachers were writing books. Then they would sell them and go on road trips, and they would do a workshop. And she made sure they all came here. I mean, so many of you are forever blessed and deeply mature, and that maturity gets transmitted to me and others who come later just by the field that's here, just by the gardens that are here. But guess what? Those teachers stopped doing that. It wasn't that Marge stopped getting good at connections. It wasn't that we became undesirable. It was that these teachers now go online. And they don't quite do it in the same way. And if they do, they're just less well known. Teachers still do this, and authors still do this. And they do come to places like Unity of Tustin, but not the names that are going to impress your friends at gala parties when you're in your bling. And on some level, maybe thank God. That was a nice era, and now we've got to go to some more humble pie. You know, I just devoted 4 days of my life to someone no one's ever heard of. I mean, that everything has its lining. So now, you know, the community is finding that we are the ones we've been waiting for. Instead of the gurus coming, we minister to ourselves in spirit groups. And, you know, at first it was probably a little like, "Aww." And then it's kind of like, wow, there's some things that happen. I get to know people on a different level. I get to know people I haven't known for a long time. I get to step out of my comfort zone and be a facilitator or be a host or lead the prayer. And this is the other thing. Start with service projects. So the service projects in spirit groups, when they first started, it's about 3 years ago on this campus, they were met with a little resistance. Wasn't really part of our culture. But what we're learning is that interfacing we to we as unity at Tustin, we with the greater community. That's where the spiritual development is happening. Not only in ourselves, but also then things get created and now brand new things can grow from that. And we are and will continue to see it. We had a sense of what would it be like to make this campus matter more to the greater community. That was part of the impetus to create the preschool. It has been a slog. The bureaucracy, the permitting, it's taken a lot of time. But we are actively in a beautiful collaboration, and this campus is going to bless the souls of children who are going to be the future leaders and change makers of our communities. So it's saying yes to that next indicated thing, and as Arlene talks about, without expectation. Without expectation, with only divine expectancy. So when I see your blessed in patience, my dear friend, and I'm like, thank you for reminding me to be more patient myself, and I do it with sincerity, I can't be looking out side-eye. Are you now changing? Is this making you more patient? Is this working? It's not a quid pro quo type of thing. It's the benefit is my getting to live. The patience that clearly I need because it bothered me so much in him. If you spot it, you got it, right? And luckily, that's true of our most inspired qualities too. Like seeing Carol's mastery. Well, I got mastery, So we also have to grow into ourselves and realize that we are also the best we see in others. And we have to own that. And sometimes that's the scarier stretch. Yeah. It's like, wow, could I have such range as Carol? What might that look like? Those types of, what's my life showing me that I could say yes to as the next indicated thing to be more versatile and brave in my own expression? We can ask ourselves those types of questions. So we're going to hear some more music from Patricia, and then we're going to move into a meditation. And the meditation continues a little bit of the theme of my last talk of moving from the true vine. Because we really want to be connected to spirit in that still small voice as we move out into the world the best we can through that practice of listening, course correcting, taking the next step. And then the meditation is going to invite you to feel into what it might be like to embody a slightly more expansive interconnectedness with the world. So we can not only be the change, it's a both and, it's not an either or, not only be the change interiorly, that we can do on our own, that we can do on ourselves, but in the world, that's where we definitely need our connectors so we can start to uplift the systems we find ourselves in from a we to we perspective. And just a shout out, if you're not sure where to start, look at what's going on here at Unity of Tustin. For one thing, most of us are already doing it. Service for our community is doing it. Service for our gardens so they can be a sanctuary for our community is doing it. Being part of a spirit group and being part of the leadership and finding your own edge is part of it. All of our ministries, the choir by definition has to work as a vocal organism. It doesn't work if you try to make your voice be the only one heard. And for sure, Sunday supper. 5th Sunday of the month, 4 times a year. Help Susan Gilmore and that beautiful team feed our community, now more than ever, because the food programs are really feeling a lot of lack and strain right now because of policy differences. Okay? It happens on the more structural levels, and those are the levels that as spiritual people we need to begin to lean into more consciously. We're doing it, but it's going to continue to grow because that's where we are in our collective evolution as a species. We're ready to go from we to we. Yeah. How y'all doing? Good. Okay, let's take a couple of deep breaths and really feel into Patricia's music. Maybe lower the lights a little, Tony. Feel the hope in your own body that you are part of the systems you find yourself in, and you too can be the change.
Center down, enter in. The noise will fade away as you begin to listen to the quiet inside your soul. Every worry, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let peace be now. Breathe in. Breathe in. Breathe out, sing it with me. Let love be now, be now. Embrace yourself for all you are. Listen to the truth inside your heart. Forget the past, what the future holds. Don't worry about what you don't know. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Breathe in. Say it with me. Breathe in. Breathe out, breathe out. Let joy be now, be now. breathe out, breathe out. Let love be now, be now, be now.
So I invite everyone to settle into this beautiful moment. Feeling yourself held in love, supported by this community, connected to that transcendence, the unspeakable something larger than yourself. And bring to mind someone or something in the world you wish would change. And don't push the feeling away. Just notice where you feel it in your body. The tightness, the frustration, the cling of wanting them to be different. This is the consciousness of the branch, not the vine. Isolated, separate, trying to control the other branches around you. Notice that it's tiring. It's tiring to need others to transform, for you to be at peace. Now take a deep breath and feel yourself sinking deeper past your branch identity, down through your connection point, the sacred portal into the true vine itself, to true life, where life force flows, where consciousness simply is the life that flows through all. From vine consciousness, you're asking, what quality do I want to see more of in this situation? Is it compassion, courage, clear boundaries, action of some kind, honesty? Let that quality and idea rise. Now feel yourself becoming that quality. You become compassionate because compassion is the nature of the vine. Feel the shift. You become loving because love is the nature of the vine. You become peaceful presence because that is the nature of the true and eternal you. You are alive, powerful, creative. And now sink even deeper, below the vine, into the root system itself, where what happens in you affects what's possible for all of us. Notice where the quality you want to embody more of wants to express itself with others. Maybe it's in your family, bringing patience to how you all navigate. Maybe it's at work, creating space for honesty. Maybe it's here, showing up for a service project where compassion becomes action. Notice how it feels when you show up and create something with others. What changes? And allow yourself to be excited by it. It is messier than changing just yourself. It requires coordination, conversation, the willingness to experiment, and sometimes fail together. To keep discovering how together we weave collective new possibilities. Imagine this room, each person embodying the change they want to see, and then coming together in spirit groups and service projects, in doing what needs to be done so our community nourishes and flourishes. What becomes possible when transformed individuals create together? When consciousness meets collaborative action. And place your hand on your heart. Feel your power to choose who you will be. Feel the ripples outward. Become the change. Not just in your heart, but in your hands, in your words, in your willingness to build with others, in the silence. And I invite you now to take 3 deep breaths, and on the inhale, receive the life force of the vine. And on the exhale, see yourself creating the change you want to see in the world with others. Breathing in the life force and breathing out the change you want to see in the world with others. And gently return back to this space right here, right now, carrying this power with you, ready to discover what we can create together. And we offer this power to all of those on our prayer list here at Unity of Tustin and all of those in our minds and heart. So let's gather that together. Breathe it in. On the exhale, maybe make a little noise. Yes. And yes, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome to We to We. And to continue the We to We, I invite up Jeff Pinney as a wonderful rhyme to welcome our new visitors and continue our exploration together.
First of all, thank you, Shara and Patricia, for the just empowering and just inspirational meditation. And Shara, your talk was just so emboldening and timely. Just, I think, the perfect talk for this moment and what we need. So I'm very, very inspired. Thank you so much. So I'm Jeff Pinney. I'm your Sunday service assistant for today. And first, I'd like to welcome our any new guest in person or online. We're so grateful you've joined us today. Just an amazing day to join us. So here at Unity at Tustin, we believe in one God, one heart, many paths. And our mission is to transform lives and inspire people to make a positive difference in our world. Exactly what we're talking about today. We're a fully inclusive community of all walks of life, and we'd like you to know that whatever your background, wherever you are on your spiritual path, we're glad you're here to continue your journey with us. So our ushers are coming forward with flowers and welcome cards for those who are here for the first or second time. So if you're comfortable doing so, we invite you to raise your hand so we can recognize you and present you with these gifts. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We invite everyone to join us after the service for food and fellowship around the hospitality table, and make sure to stop by our open door welcome center and bookshop reading room. As always, we have our Reiki practitioners wearing green ribbons and our prayer chaplains wearing white ribbons, who will be at the entrance to the meditation gardens ready to offer prayer and healing support. All prayers are confidential. They love to pray with you. In addition, there are prayer request forms in the seat backs in front of you and at the table at the garden's entrance, where you may leave your requests in the prayer box. They will be lovingly held in prayer by our silent prayer team ministry. And we also have our Labyrinth ambassadors who are wearing bright blue ribbons. So if you would like to learn more about how the Labyrinth is just a wonderful spiritual tool, that they're welcome to talk with you. So there's always so much happening here on our campus of consciousness. Please make sure to check your email each Friday for our weekly e-newsletter. Visit the welcome table for information about the many upcoming and ongoing classes, events, and opportunities to serve as part of our beloved Unity of Tustin community. So now is the time for a love offering as we share our financial gifts in support of our ministry. The various electronic ways to give are here on the screen. We also pass the offering bags to receive in-person donations in whatever form that you choose to give. We invite you to briefly hold your hand over the offering bag as it passes along, taking that moment to connect with the spirit of giving. We are grateful for your faith and generosity. Now I invite Reverend Shara for the offering message and blessing.
Yeah, during this season, we're taking a little bit more time to kind of talk about the giving and where we give from, giving from that true vine. And one of our teachings is to give and to show up, not with expectation, right? But with divine expectancy. So I want to talk a little bit about this community. So in order for this community to run, the cooperative share is about $250 per person per month. Now that's a lot of money. Some people cannot and will not ever be able to give that. What we ask is that everyone give what they can. It's a equality of integrity. Because if we all give what we can, there's always enough. And we have some donors in our community who give incredibly generously. I would say about 10% of our community provides about 50% of our resources. And I want you to know something very important about these people. And there are many more who give very, very generously and sustainably as well, that make up a lot of the extras. I've been here now my 5th year. Never once has a giver tried to get what they expect because they give. 5 years. Not once, not even a whisper. So we are talking about giving without expectation, but with divine expectancy that this is part of spiritual flow, that one of the ways we can be the change we want to see in the world is by investing in what we want to see in the world and allowing it to flourish. And, quite honestly, one of the most expensive parts of the budget is me. Because I have the delight to try to figure out how to survive in Orange County. And, just so you know, we're very good stewards. It does cost a lot for me to live in Orange County. But I live in a 2-bedroom apartment. And I'm happy. I'm happy to simplify and know that unlike some churches, even the one I came from, when we give more as a community, I don't get a percentage of that. This is very common. The ministers would get a bonus. Like if you exceed budget, you get 25% of all the gravy. We don't do anything like that. We are here to maintain this community, have it thrive in a very responsible, loving way. And I am so grateful for all of us who, from the true vine, allows it to happen year after year after year. Because I know how much this community means to me and what I would be like without it, and I don't want that life. And I know it means that much to many, many, many of you as well. And we need each other. That's what we're learning. We need each other more than ever, and that's what happens in spiritual community. So let us together affirm our varying and mixing it up love offer. No, actually it's our standard. It's our old standby. Love offering blessing. So divine love as we blesses and multiplies all that we are, all that we have, all that we give, and all that we receive in joy with no expectation, but with divine expectancy. Patricia, take it away.
All right. Well, it's interesting. I chose this song before I knew what Reverend Shara was going to be talking about today. And so many of the lyrics are exactly what you've been talking about. It's called Better When We Get Together. And it's about the power of working together, praying together, being together. So, and of course, there's a little bit of a sing-along, which I will cue you on. And this is based on, this is interesting. It's based on a quote that we thought was Martin Luther King, but actually was somebody else, and I don't have his name written down, I'm sorry to say. But the idea is we're not in the same boat, but we're all in the same storm. And, some of us are in dinghies, rafts, and some are on yachts. But we're all tossed in the same storm. And it's all better when we get together. We may not be in the same boat, but we're all in the same storm now. Tossed on troubled water, trying to get across it and make it through to the morning. I see the sun is rising up above the dark horizon. We put our hands and hearts together, no storm that we can't weather and nothing we can't do. 'Cause when we get together, we can make it better if we just get together. My sisters and my brothers love one another. We can make it heaven wherever we are. 'Cause everything's better when we get together. Everything's better when we get together. The future is ours and it's brighter than ever. Oh, oh, oh. Every day, every way, we're writing the future. So close you can feel it. Our hopes and our dreams, yeah, coming into view. We all belong, the frail and the strong, the young and the old, the quiet and the bold, forgivers and forgiven, joining all together we can weather any storm. 'Cause when we get together, we can make it better if we just get together. Sisters and my brothers love one another. We can make it heaven wherever we are. 'Cause everything's better when we get together. Everything's better when we get together. The future is ours and it's brighter than ever. Oh, 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 this is it. Get together, get together, get together, get together, get together, get together now. Ooh, get together, get together, get together, get together, get together. Ooh, now, now, now. 'Cause when we get together, we can make it better if we just get together. My sisters and my brothers love one another. And we can make it heaven wherever we are. We can make it heaven wherever we are.
Thank you, Patricia. That was awesome. And thank you, all of you here and online, for joining us today. Thank you to everyone who made today's service possible. As we close, please stand if you're able, and we will affirm the prayer for protection. Together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Now go forth and be the change in the world that you want to see. And as Patricia sang in her prelude, sometimes you got to change the key in your own song. It's okay. So thank you.
And sometimes you need a P.S. So, P.S., a very important announcement was not mentioned today, and that is we are in the big move of the education building so it can be built out to be the preschool. So AJ and Aaron have facilitated today a blessing. And the blessing was the kids and you, the kid and you, can write on the walls, you can give love messages, you can put a handprint, it's all going to be painted in a beautiful way, and we are cleaning it out. So we have excess books, we have step stools, we have vacuum pieces, we have Christmas ornaments, we have things that you can just take. You can just say, oh, that looks interesting, and take it. And maybe just run it by Erin to make sure it's not something the new preschooler Erin wants, but some of it's marked. So please make your way to the education building, bless it as it transitions, and help us clean it out by taking whatever you can use. What doesn't get taken, we're going to have Margie come from the Assistance League, and whatever doesn't get taken from that, we're having hauled away. So don't think twice. Just take whatever. There's some really great books and things for kids, and even for the kids and us. So blessings, and thank you, Jeff.
Namaste.
Namaste.